Hello, I'm Leah, and I will bring to you my Alamo shortly. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you learn from it. Thank you. Roof. Originally called the Mission San Antonio de la Valero, it was built on the banks of the San Antonio River in 1718 by Spanish settlers as a religious center for their missionaries. Soon, a military outpost was attached to the mission, which also housed Native American converts until 1793. The center of this settlement became what is today the city of San Antonio in Texas. Out front. Beginning in the early 1800s, Spanish military troops took over the mission, which had by now become abandoned. At this time, there were still no automobiles, so they had horses, and stables occupied the grounds. And, because it stood in a grove of cottonwood trees, the soldiers called their new fort El Alamo after the Spanish word for cottonwood. Inside. Spain had invaded Mexico back in 1521 when it was part of the Aztec Empire. In the early 1820s, those Spanish descendants no longer wanted the land they lived on to be ruled and owned by Spain, a country and continent away. So they fought for and won their independence. Unfortunately, previous to Mexico taking over their land, the Spanish had allowed almost 300 American families to settle in San Antonio. So, in December 1835, when Mexico tried to take this land, a group of 200 Texan volunteer soldiers occupied the Alamo and waited for the Mexican soldiers to come and fight for it. On February 23, 1836, thousands of Mexican soldiers laid siege on the fort. They were led by General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. The Texans were commanded by James Bowie, William Travis, and the famous frontiersman Davy Crockett. Though vastly outnumbered, the Alamo's defenders held out courageously for 13 days. But on the morning of March 6, 1836, the Mexican invaders finally overpowered them. Courtyard. Santa Anna ordered his men to take on a certain amount of lives to warn other Texans what would happen if they continued to fight. One American soldier wrote a letter home before being lined up against Santa Anna's firing squad. He told his mother that he had drawn a short straw and was writing to say goodbye. One of the Texans who were spared, one of these was Susanna Dickinson, the wife of Captain Almaron Dickinson, who was killed, and her infant daughter Angelina. Santa Anna sent her out the mission to tell the other Texans what he had done. Remember the Alamo. Instead of discouraging the Texans, the fight at the Alamo fired them up to fight harder, and just weeks later, on April 21, 1836, some 800 Texans, being led by Commander Sam Houston, defended Santa Anna's Mexican force of 1,500 men at San Jacinto, near the site of present-day city of Houston, Texas, shouting, "Remember the Alamo," as they attacked. This ended their war with Mexico and gained their independence. In 1845, Texas was annexed, and it became part of the United States. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, like it said, remember the Alamo. Also, thank my teacher Julie in 3rd grade. I think she's watching this right now. And yes, I did say Aztec in this. In my class, we also love Aztec.